Imagine waking up in the morning feeling refreshed and energized. You have a full day ahead of you, but you're not feeling stressed or anxious. Instead, you're excited to get started. You know exactly what you need to do, and you're confident that you can accomplish it. This is the power of overcoming morning procrastination. Morning procrastination is the habit of putting off tasks until later in the morning, or even until the afternoon or evening. It can be caused by a variety of factors, such as lack of motivation, fear of failure, or simply wanting to enjoy the last few minutes of sleep. While morning procrastination may seem harmless at first, it can have a negative impact on your productivity, your stress levels, and your overall well-being. When you procrastinate in the morning, you're setting yourself up for a stressful and chaotic day. You may feel rushed and overwhelmed, and you may not have enough time to complete all of your tasks. This can lead to missed deadlines, decreased performance, and increased stress. The good news is that morning procrastination can be overcome. And one of the best ways to do this is to apply the principles of Stoicism. Stoicism is a philosophy that teaches us how to live a good life in the face of adversity. Stoics believe that we should focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot control. They also believe that we should live in accordance with our values and be virtuous. These principles can be applied to morning procrastination in a number of ways. For example, Stoics would encourage us to focus on the benefits of completing our morning tasks. They would also remind us that procrastination is a choice and that we have the power to choose to be productive instead. Here is a specific example of how to apply Stoicism to morning procrastination. Imagine that you have a big presentation at work tomorrow morning. You know that you need to prepare for the presentation, but you're feeling unmotivated and you'd rather stay in bed. A Stoic would encourage you to focus on the benefits of preparing for the presentation. They would remind you that if you're well prepared, you'll be more confident and more likely to deliver a successful presentation. They would also remind you that procrastination is a choice and that you have the power to choose to be productive instead. The Stoic would also encourage you to focus on what you can control and accept what you cannot control. You cannot control how well the presentation goes, but you can control how well you prepare for it. By focusing on your preparation, you're increasing your chances of success. By applying the principles of Stoicism to morning procrastination, you can learn to overcome this habit and start your day off on the right foot. What is morning procrastination? Morning procrastination is the act of delaying or postponing tasks that are scheduled to be done in the morning. It can be caused by a variety of factors, such as lack of motivation, fear of failure, or simply wanting to enjoy the last few minutes of sleep. How Stoicism can help. Stoicism is a philosophy that teaches us how to live a good life in the face of adversity. Stoics believe that we should focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot control. They also believe that we should live in accordance with our values and be virtuous. These principles can be applied to morning procrastination in a number of ways. For example, Stoics would encourage us to focus on the benefits of completing our morning tasks. They would also remind us that procrastination is a choice and that we have the power to choose to be productive instead. Here are some specific ways that Stoicism can help us overcome morning procrastination. Focus on the benefits of completing our morning tasks. Stoics believe that we should focus on the positive aspects of our actions. When we're faced with a task that we're tempted to procrastinate on, we can ask ourselves, what are the benefits of completing this task? For example, if we have a big presentation at work tomorrow morning, we can remind ourselves that by preparing for the presentation, we're increasing our chances of success. We can also remind ourselves that by being well prepared, we'll be more confident and less anxious. Remind ourselves that procrastination is a choice. Stoics believe that we are responsible for our own choices. When we procrastinate, we're choosing to delay or postpone a task. We're also choosing to accept the consequences of procrastination, such as increased stress, missed deadlines, and decreased performance. By reminding ourselves that procrastination is a choice, we can empower ourselves to make better choices. We can choose to be productive instead of procrastinating. Focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot control. Stoics believe that we should focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot control. When we're faced with a task that we're tempted to procrastinate on, we can ask ourselves, what can I control in this situation? For example, if you're applying for a job, you cannot control whether or not you get the job, but you can control how well you prepare for the interview. By practicing your answers to common interview questions, dressing professionally, and arriving on time, you're increasing your chances of success. Live in accordance with our values and be virtuous. Stoics believe that we should live in accordance with our values and be virtuous. This means that we should act in a way that is consistent with our beliefs about what is right and good. When we procrastinate, we're not acting in accordance with our values. We're not being virtuous. We're choosing to be lazy and to avoid difficult tasks. By reminding ourselves of our values and virtues, we can motivate ourselves to overcome procrastination. We can choose to act in a way that is consistent with our beliefs about what is right and good. Here are some practical tips on how to implement Stoic principles into your morning routine to overcome procrastination. Set realistic goals for the morning. One of the best ways to avoid procrastination is to set realistic goals for the morning. If you set your sights too high, you're more likely to feel overwhelmed and give up. Start by setting 1 or 2 small goals for the morning. For example, you could set a goal to wake up at a certain time, to get ready for work in a certain amount of time, or to complete a specific task. Once you've achieved your initial goals, you can gradually increase the difficulty and number of goals you set for yourself. Focus on one task at a time. Multitasking is a myth. When you try to do multiple tasks at once, you're actually less efficient and more likely to make mistakes. Instead of multitasking, focus on one task at a time. When you're working on a task, give it your full attention. Avoid distractions and don't switch to another task until you've finished the first task. Reward yourself for completing tasks. Positive reinforcement is a powerful tool for overcoming procrastination. When you complete a task, reward yourself with something you enjoy. For example, you could reward yourself with a break, a snack, or a few minutes of your favorite activity. By rewarding yourself, you're making procrastination less appealing and productivity more rewarding. Create a system for tracking your progress. Tracking your progress is a great way to stay motivated and avoid procrastination. When you see how far you've come, you'll be more likely to keep going. There are a number of ways to track your progress. You could keep a journal, use a productivity app, or simply create a simple checklist. When tracking your progress, focus on the following. What tasks did you complete? How long did each task take? Did you encounter any challenges? How can you improve your performance next time? By tracking your progress, you can identify areas where you can improve and make adjustments to your routine as needed. Make your morning routine enjoyable. One of the best ways to overcome procrastination is to make your morning routine enjoyable. If you look forward to your morning routine, you're more likely to stick to it. Add things to your morning routine that you enjoy, such as listening to music, reading a book, or spending time with your loved ones. Get enough sleep. When you're well rested, you're more likely to have the energy and motivation to overcome procrastination. Aim to get 7-8 hours of sleep per night. Create a positive environment. The environment you're in can have a big impact on your productivity. If your environment is cluttered and disorganized, you're more likely to procrastinate. Create a positive and organized environment where you can focus on your work. This may involve decluttering your workspace, setting up a designated work area, or playing calming music. Morning procrastination is a common problem, but it can be overcome. By applying the principles of Stoicism and following the tips above, you can learn to overcome procrastination and start your day off on the right foot. Remember, procrastination is a choice. You have the power to choose to be productive instead. When you're faced with a task that you're tempted to procrastinate on, ask yourself the following questions. What are the benefits of completing this task? What can I control in this situation? Am I acting in accordance with my values and virtues? By asking yourself these questions, you can gain perspective and make better choices. Here are some additional tips for overcoming morning procrastination. Make your morning routine enjoyable. Get enough sleep. Create a positive environment. By following these tips, you can set yourself up for a productive and successful day. Remember, you are in control of your choices. Choose to be productive instead of procrastinating. If you're tired of procrastinating and want to start your day off on the right foot, then apply the tips in this video to your morning routine. Share this video with your friends and family who struggle with morning procrastination, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more tips on how to live a more productive and fulfilling life. Leave a comment below and let me know what tips you're going to try and how they work for you. Thanks for watching.